How to stay focused and avoid distractions in a busy world. The world we live in today is filled with constant noise, distractions, and overwhelming demands on our attention. It often feels as though we're living in a race where there's no finish line, no time to breathe, no time to reflect. The pressure to keep moving, to do more, to achieve more, is unrelenting. Everywhere we turn, something is pulling us away from what truly matters, taking us further from the peace we seek. Yet in the midst of this whirlwind, there is an ancient truth that offers us profound wisdom and solace. True focus is not about doing more, but about doing less. Doing it mindfully, with intention, and with the clarity that comes from within. This wisdom, found in quiet places, shared by those who have walked a path of self-discovery, is not a new concept. It has been passed down through centuries by monks, sages, and teachers who understood that the greatest power lies in stillness and presence. I remember my early days, much like many of you, struggling to keep up with the fast pace of life. I was constantly torn between 1,000 different thoughts, each competing for my attention. My mind was scattered, restless, and ungrounded. The noise of the world seemed to drown out any sense of clarity. But it wasn't until I learned to step back, to slow down, and to focus on what truly mattered, that I began to find peace amidst the chaos. I was once in the mountains, seeking solace away from the demands of everyday life. It was there, in the stillness of the natural world, that I realized the true meaning of focus. I had taken refuge in nature, away from all distractions, and began to meditate on the simple act of being present. But even in that serene environment, my mind would wander. I would think of tasks undone, of people I had yet to meet, of the future that seemed to loom ahead. In that moment, I understood. Distractions are not always external. Sometimes they come from within. It was not the world that was overwhelming me. It was my own restless thoughts. The more I tried to control them, the more they seemed to slip away. But when I learned to embrace those distractions with compassion, to acknowledge them without judgment, I began to regain control. I learned that distractions are part of being human, but how we respond to them determines our path forward. A great teacher once shared with me a simple but profound insight. We are not defined by what we resist, but by what we allow ourselves to focus on. Our lives are like gardens. If we choose to water the weeds of fear, distraction, and self-doubt, they will grow. But if we choose to water the flowers of peace, clarity, and intention, we will cultivate a garden of serenity. Focus is not about removing every distraction from our lives. It is about choosing where we place our attention. One of the greatest lessons I learned in the monastery was the practice of mindfulness. This practice is not about achieving a perfect state of focus, but about continuously returning to the present moment. It is about being fully present, whether you are washing the dishes, walking through the forest, or simply sitting in silence. Mindfulness teaches us to fully engage with whatever we are doing, without rushing ahead to the next task or getting lost in our thoughts. The mind is a powerful tool, but it is also easily distracted. When I first began my journey of mindfulness, I struggled to stay present even for a few minutes. My thoughts would constantly pull me away, but the more I practiced, the easier it became to quiet the mind. I learned that true focus is not the absence of distractions, but the ability to gently return to the task at hand, again and again. It is the practice of non-judgmental awareness, allowing distractions to pass like clouds in the sky without attaching to them. This practice of mindfulness extended beyond meditation. It became a way of life. Whether I was working in the garden or speaking with a fellow monk, I learned to approach each moment with complete presence. Each act became an opportunity for reflection, for self-awareness, and for learning. In this way, the small, mundane tasks of life became sacred acts, each one contributing to my growth and sense of purpose. The challenge, however, is that we live in a world that rewards multitasking and constant motion. We are taught that to be successful, we must do more, be more, and keep moving forward at all costs. Yet in my experience, the more we chase external achievements, the further we drift from our true purpose. It is in the quiet, in the moments of stillness, that we reconnect with who we truly are. In the monastery, we often talk about the concept of being, rather than doing. The world teaches us to measure our worth by what we accomplish. But I have come to believe that our worth is found in our ability to simply be, to be present, to be mindful, to be at peace with who we are in this moment.